Hi, I'm Justin Whitaker. This is the Laundry Time Podcast. So today I wanted to talk about an interesting post on Chris Brogan's blog about watching Mitch Joel blog. And it's really interesting, and you wouldn't think it would be, right? Because it's one blogger talking about watching another blog. It's a very meta thing, just run with it. If you think about it, it gives you some insight into the way both of them work. And Chris actually identifies, the two issues pretty well. Chris is very much an impulsive blogger. He's writing from the hip or recording from the hip. He sees something that's interesting to him or something that's wrong or a trend, and he's basically cutting a video or throwing 500 words on a page and releasing it. It's not quite Gary Vaynerchuk's one and done, but it's really close to it. And on the other side, you have this measured, more scholarly blogger in Mitch Joel. Every line is important. Every line is leading up to a point that he wants to make or is supporting a point that he wants to make. And he's actually calling out to reference material all the time. He's pointing out to an article or another blog post or a video that supports something that he's discussing, or he's pulling in a bit of technology history or marketing history to show and shed some light on issues that are happening now in technology or marketing. It's a much more in-depth, much more measured, much more thoughtful way of blogging, and frankly, I wish there were more Mitch Joels in the world because it would make the blogosphere much more rich and much more interesting. There's tons of posts on, the top 5 ways to turn your iPad into a remote control for your television. There's a lot of dreck out there on blogs. There's a lot of stuff that is just there to get traffic, has no literary or cognitive value. It's just stuff that's thrown on a page and doesn't have any passion and doesn't have any real thought behind it. It's essentially there just to be read by Google. So if there were more Mitch Joels in the world, that would be awesome. And similarly, a lot of people sort of move towards what Chris Brogan is doing because they think that that's easier to copy. And it's sort of like, well, Chris shows you one way of growing a blog and a business, but Chris is Chris. He's unique. He's not someone that is clonable. He's not someone that you can become. His way of writing, his voice, his style, that's his. And you can try to distill it, but you're going to fail because it's not you. It's you trying to be him, and people can see right through that. So the takeaway is, and Chris identifies this, is be you, which is pretty much what everybody tells you to be. Just write from your heart, record from your heart, and live with that. But you can take elements of both and actually have a really successful blog. There are posts where you probably should be more Mitch Joel, where you really should think about diving deep into the meat of the subject and about referencing heavily supporting material for your argument. Those sorts of posts are the types of things that define your blog and define your authority. But other times, it's really good to just fire and forget. It's really just good to let your passion direct the tone of the post, direct the subject of the post, and let it go. It shows you're human, it shows you're interested, it shows you're passionate, and those are things which your readers will really connect with. So between the two, there's no right or wrong way. It's take a little from both and be yourself, and you'll be successful in the blogging game. I'm Justin Whitaker. This is the Laundry Time Podcast. Thanks for listening.